Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we find ourselves in Franklin, Tennessee, looking at another gorgeous luxury home for sale. And I want to give a huge thank you to the listing agent, Dale Davenport with Benchmark Realty, for making this tour possible. I'll be sure to leave all of the information in the description below. Now, starting on the exterior, family, you see that we have the siding along with the board and batten and some stone accents. Now, as far as the color is concerned, you are going to have urbane bronze, so a nice touch, and you will have the matching brick foundation. You have a 3-car garage right over here to the right, plenty of driveway space available, and this home is situated on 3.44 acres. So if you need some room between you and the neighbors and you want that peace and serenity, this is going to be a place to call home. Now, you have a lot of new construction happening inside of here. So you will still have space between you and the neighbors, so you don't have to worry about that. Great curb appeal, and this is a complete new construction. So we're going to see this one for what it is, and of course it is staged, so that way you can see what it would look like with your furniture inside. Now, heading this way, we have a oversized covered front porch. You do have the wood ceilings, as you can see, but the urbane bronze continues inside of here, and you're going to have siding along with the stone accent continuing here. But if it's one thing where you want to spend your Monday mornings right before you head to work in here, enjoy a nice cup of coffee or tea, depending on your preference, this is going to be perfect for you. Now, you also have a gas lantern and then the iron door with the glass panes inside. But without further ado, let's get you inside. Wow. Absolutely stunning. Immediately whenever you walk in, you see that you have the 2-story foyer along with the 2-tier wagon wheel chandelier. Really nice addition to this home. And then you will have the herringbone pattern European white oak floors inside of the foyer, and then continuing along, you will have the European white oak again. Now, before we continue, let's go ahead and start right here to the left and see the floor plan for what it is. Okay, so they have this this room, staged as a study, but this would be a perfect guest suite. You will have an ensuite and a closet right there. We'll see that in just a second. And really, with the furniture, you can see how much space you get. So a queen bedroom set would fit extremely comfortable in here. Beautiful modern light fixture, as you can see. And then of course you got your nice windows with the grids. So you already have your racks inside of here. Double doors leading you inside of there. So nothing too massive, but still can fit a decent sized wardrobe. And then let's take a look at our ensuite. Okay, so you have the shaker style cabinetry right there, the cabinet doors. You have quartz countertops, champagne bronze, that circle mirror with the gorgeous gold sconce. And then of course, your walk-in shower. Look at this. Now you do have your shower niche right there, but the champagne bronze shower head continues inside of here. You have tile flooring. And then, of course, glass enclosed. So plenty of storage space available. Let me show you inside of there. I started noticing after watching my other, the videos, watching them back, I'm not opening a lot of the cabinets for you and drawers. So I want to make sure I do that for you. But I love this, that Christmas tree. We talk about that quite often. That's a perfect place for you. Then you have a storage closet right here underneath your staircase. And then you will have 2 powder rooms. So you're going to have 1 half bath down here and then an additional one upstairs for the guests. But look at this. I've never seen that light fixture right there, but beautiful. It adds a statement to this home. Then you have your gorgeous quartz vanity right here, champagne bronze inside of there. This one's going to have a pocket door separating the two, and then your match-in floor registers, as you can see. But I love how open this foyer is, and this of course is going to lead you to the great room. Over here to the left is your primary suite, but why not take a look at the main areas. Okay, so look how open and spacious it is. Does a great job of connecting to the kitchen. So extremely interactive, inviting. Love what I'm seeing. So you're gonna have 12-foot ceilings inside of here. Then you have the exposed beam, so adding some great character. Then on the fireplace, you will have Arcus stone, so a type of limestone. Really nice, but look how open and airy it looks inside of here. Very cozy. Of course, the stager did a fantastic job of designing this. Now heading inside of our kitchen, look at this. Before I talk about some of the details, let me give you a moment of silence. Beautiful. Okay, so as far as the countertops is concerned, we have Calacatta Carmelo quartz and with the full backsplash. So you'll notice that, extends upwards towards your range hood, and that will be Arcus stone as well. Now on the top, look at that. Beautiful chevron pattern wood detail up there. You have panel ready appliances, and they are going to be Thermador. So you can certainly appreciate the top of the line in here. Now you have the shaker cabinetry that continues here, but with the beautiful brass hardware. And look at this. The two-tone cabinets and drawers. You got your Thermador range. You got 6 burners with a griddle. Gorgeous pot filler right there. You know it's not a home without a pot filler. I'll make a couple exceptions, but most of the time, if it does have the pot filler, the rest of the tour goes fantastic. All right, so like I mentioned earlier, let's open up some of these drawers for you. So you have your trash drawer there. Plenty of storage to work with. Even down there, look at the depth right there. Then you do have the soft close mechanism. Like I said, that high-end quartz extends upwards. So a nice little detail right there. Then you have your panel ready dishwasher here. Thermador as well. You got the Bluetooth connection. And then look at additional storage right here. So there's been times where a lot of, we might have looked at some of these homes and they have a ton of cabinetry, and that was to make up for the lack of a pantry or something like that. But we have a scullery right back there, and we'll see that in just a second. But now heading into our formal dining, look at this. So I'm going to pan you upwards real quick, and look at this. You have the vaulted ceilings with the floating beam, gorgeous circular chandelier right above your dining room table. Look at all the windows that you have in here, the tall baseboards, beautiful color. And then of course you have the sliders leading you out there to a nice elevated deck. But goodness gracious. Now, I just want to talk about some of the dimensions for my analyticals out there, right? So in here is 13 by 15. So extremely spacious. Of course, you have 6 seats in here, but you can easily fit an 8-seater dining table, possibly even a 10-seater, depending on the positioning. But I love that. And then of course, in the great room, 22 by 20, in the kitchen, 14 by 20. And then we'll talk about some of the dimensions as we continue. Okay, so now let's go ahead and head into our scullery. The one thing I can appreciate is that they added this glass door right here, heading you in here. So a nice touch. And then look at this. You have that shiplap backsplash right back there. You got your beverage fridge straight ahead. And then you got your KitchenAid ice maker. Like I said, the warm tone in here does a great job of just having that inviting feel. And of course, I always welcome you in the comments to let me know if you agree. But in here, we have that black pearl leathered granite. So a nice addition, and then a ton of shelving available for all of your stored goods. And then some additional drawers and cabinetry right down here. And the European white oak floors continues this way. Beautiful. So then you have some extended counter space over here, your built-in thermodor microwave, and then now heading here, look at your drop zone. Wow. So that chevron pattern continues here, but you do have the white oak stacked cabinetry on the top. You already got your hood, or your hooks rather. And look at that. So now heading this way, you got your utility room. You got quartz countertops in here. Beautiful, like almost like a light sage green. I didn't get the color on this one, but you still have the neutral colors right there. Plenty of space for a decent sized washer and dryer. You got your sink overlooking your backyard. Look at those views. Wow. So if you ever wanted the mature trees surrounding your entire home without having to worry about planting them, you know, and waiting some time, you are certainly good to go. Look at that. Love what I'm seeing. Okay, now heading this way, you will have a 3-car garage, as I mentioned earlier in the video. So I'll show you. You head down these steps right over here, and look at this. So this is your 2-car garage, and then the one right here to the left is your additional 1 car. So that makes up a total 3-car garage spaces. You got your tankless water heater right there, and then straight ahead, you have access to the back, and why not? Let's see it. So it'll kind of come full circle for you. Okay. And of course, you can always add the epoxy flooring if that is important to you down the road. You know, most folks really don't mind it too much. But if that is something that you really want, no big deal. Okay. So hopefully you love the kitchen, you love the great room. So far, so good. Fingers crossed. And then now let's head to our primary suite. Beautiful. So now you head down this hallway away from all the noise, and then there you go. You got your king size bed in here, your 2 nightstands. As you can see, you still have a ton of room on both sides if you wanted to add more of an oversized nightstand. You got windows surrounding here, your matching floor registers. You have 10-foot ceilings in here with the shiplap and the painted beams. So adding some additional character, as you can see, as far as the dimension is concerned, right here in the primary suite, 18 by 16. So, you know, if you have a bed that needs to accommodate you and you're 7'1", you can fit that in here without any challenges. I'll tell you that right now. And if you're not in the NBA or weren't in the NBA in the past, we need to have a conversation. But now, heading to our primary bath. Look at this, folks. So again, yeah, the high-end quartz countertops, as far as the sink is concerned and the spout, you will have that champagne bronze, beautiful freestanding tub right over here. Nice walk-in shower. We'll get to that in just a second, but I want to turn you this way. You have a designated cosmetic area. You have your own mirror right there too, and then the additional 2 as well. So for a total of 3. And again, you have that sage green color inside of here, shaker cabinetry, beautiful brass hardware, and then even over here, fellas. Love that. Okay, and then heading into our walk-in shower. Look at that. So 0 threshold, as you can see. I'll pan you downwards a little bit. And then beautiful shower surround. You get that porcelain tile, rain shower head right above that. You have an oversized shower bench, can fit 2 or 3 people in here, to be honest with you. I'm just telling you, that's just the dimension. Sometimes you can't really see it on the video. But I love how the materials complement one another. Of course, your water closet right over here to the right, and then your primary closet. So not overly massive, right? But you still have plenty of space on both sides. You got your built-in drawers, as you can see, the floor to ceiling shelving space. You got a ton of racks and a ton of cubby space to store anything that you may want. You just may have to have a simple conversation about who gets what side and how much space. But other than that, you are good to go, I'll tell you that. And then look at this. You didn't get to see that, but right here, you have that beautiful wainscoting as well. So they've just done a fantastic job of the entire interior, not to mention the exterior as well. And then I will leave the information to the builder below, of course, if you want to reach out or take a look at their portfolio, any other homes they've done, and then that way you can get a little bit more familiar with them. And then look at that. You got some clear story windows on the top, bringing in some additional natural light. Okay, so now heading upstairs, look at this. You have this nice little loft area right over here. Look at this. Perfect to separate between the bonus room and the media room, which will be straight ahead. And I'll make sure, or stay tuned so that way you can see that media room, because there's a feature in there that I haven't seen in a media room in a while, probably ever. And then also, just to let you know, the paint color inside of that dining was fawn brindle. So hopefully, if you care, they'll let you know. Now heading inside of bedroom number 3. So in here, 13 by 12. So that'll just kind of show you the space that you get inside of here. Beautiful light fixture. You got the massive windows again, bringing in some more natural light. Even though you are surrounded by these mature trees, you still will have some light protruding there. So you have the best of both worlds, the natural light plus the beautiful view. So this one will have your own walk-in closet. You have carpet inside of here, of course, but you have the floor to ceiling shelving again inside of here. That's been a theme that we've seen, at least in the last 2 bedrooms. Now look at our ensuite. So we have the shower tub combo inside of here, but the champagne bronze continues, our shower niche right there. Beautiful shower bathroom flooring. Got your quartz countertops, gorgeous sconce. Beautiful features. And now heading in here, look at this. So this bedroom, the dimensions 14 by 16, okay? Or rather, I'm sorry. So the other one that we had seen was 14 by 16. This is 13 by 12. So that'll just give you reference. So it's a little bit smaller. However, look as I pan up. Vaulted ceilings. So very roomy inside of here. You got your tall baseboards that extends. Over here, you will have that massive walk-in closet, but plenty of space. That queen bedroom set would fit in here perfectly. You can have a dresser, even a desk. You'll have no issues whatsoever. And then now heading to our ensuite. So you have 4 bedrooms, 4 full bathrooms, and then the 2 half baths. So each one of them is ensuited. But look at this. You got your quartz countertops. So they opted for the matte black hardware inside of here, but you still have this cream color. And that's what it's called, is the cream color as far as the cabinetry is concerned. I'll turn you around right over here. And let me know what you think about the cream and the matte black combination. Do you like that? I haven't seen that before. Interesting choice. Okay, so that was the 2 additional bedrooms up here. And then now heading over here, this will be where your bonus room or rec room and your media room is. Okay, so look how open and spacious this is. Plenty of space. So if you didn't want to entertain inside of the great room, you know, you bring your guests up here And you could possibly have a massive couch up here. You know, you can have this as a club room, maybe that pool table, ping pong table, all the above, maybe a poker table, and just have a great time up here. But you have plenty of space to work with. I mean, depending on your personal circumstances, you know, we always talk about it, other options as far as, you know, you can have this as a nice little workout room, children's retreat, anything of that nature. But if you did have it as a game room, go ahead and have your game stored in there. And then this is that second half bath that we had talked about. And of course the toilet is right behind that. But now heading inside of our media room, look at this. So you have vaulted ceilings, but you have 4 skylights. Haven't seen that before, so you let me know what you think about that. Again, you know, usually the theater room is without windows and media room is with windows. So it's a perfect media room, you know, especially for a day like today, you know, a little gloomy, light rain. This is probably where you want to be cuddled up and bundled up and watching your favorite movies. But again, even the vaulted ceilings is a nice addition to this one to create that airy feel. And then of course, if you ever wanted to just have that theater-like feel, you just go ahead and add some shades and you are certainly good to go. Okay, family, so that was the entire upstairs and first level. Don't think we missed anything. Last but not least, we'll take a look at the backyard. Again, there's a elevated deck out here, and this is, you know, for sale currently. And I always add the price and the description inside of, or the price rather, in the description and the title. So if you ever get confused, just go ahead and look right there. And I know I get questions all the time, Marcus, why don't you just add the price in the video? But next thing you know, if they ever did a price reduction or something like that, I don't want to give you false information, even though I know it's not that big of an issue, right? You could just look it up for sale or online, but I could always change it in the description if I need to, just to keep the transparency. Okay, but look how open this is. I love that they added these sliders inside of the dining room, right? But look how open it is. Perfect to take advantage of these views. And like I mentioned, you have 3.44 acres as far as your own property. So it continues back there. And as you can see, you got a nice little trail. You could possibly put some chairs out there. Just have a nice time if you want to be surrounded by nature. But now back here, that urbane bronze paint continues this way. As you can see, the fireplace is the same exact color as the siding, and that was intentional as well. You got your gorgeous solid wood mantle, and then look how just open this is. So like I said, if you want to move your guests from inside the house, get them outside, get them some fresh air, you can certainly do that. Now I would show you the exterior of the property from down there, folks, but it is raining. So other than that, that was another beautiful luxury home tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful luxury home right here in Franklin, Tennessee. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this particular home. Is this something you could see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.